movies for Black girl nerds.
Renate Reinsve.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Jeandra from Black Girl Nerds. It's a pleasure to
Hi,
speak
Jeandra. Hey,
today.
good to meet you.
This
Thank
is,
you for having
oh, the pleasure is entirely mine. This movie was so wonderful to me. It was so relatable. We've all had that feeling of being the worst person in the world when we change courses or our actions affect others, whether it was our intention or not. I will begin with you, Renata. For Julia, again, everyone feels like that worst person in the world. Why do you think it's easier for us as humans, particularly Julia, to buy into that notion instead of maybe we're at a place of growth or change in our life?
what notion of
We're feeling like the worst person in the world.
oh yeah, why it is?
Yeah. Why is it easier for us to believe that?
Yeah,
than
the best person in the world?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that we have hopes and dreams for our lives, and they will never ever come true because other stuff happens, and then you make decisions that, because you can't really see the consequence of your choice before you've lived it out, and rarely it will go the way you think, or you will end up with a person you thought you would. So and also I think we're surrounded by so not just from ourselves, like hopes and dreams and expectation from ourselves, but from the society too, and we're on social media, and it's kind of, I don't know, flat to talk about that, but it's affecting us, and we're internalizing some way of kind of branding ourselves or making an identity for ourselves that's from the outside and not from the inside. So we kind of it's hard to know and where to take, like, where is that right place to take a choice from, and what actually really makes you happy. So that's a fight too, all the time. I guess it's a lot of things out there to make you feel like the worst person in the world.
Very much so. Joachim, there are so many elements of Julia that are relatable to, particularly to myself, to anyone, male, female, anywhere, how non-binary, whoever, everyone can relate to these types of feelings. When you write characters like this, what does that do for you creatively to kind of articulate the internalized feelings of so many people?
One never knows how people will be affected. To be very honest with you, and thank you for your compliments. I start out with something I am curious about, and I can only hope and wish it will relate to others. I always, with my co-writer Eskil Vogt, we try to be brave about sharing things that we find difficult, questions we're asking about ourselves and people that we love or know, and try to create characters that are believable, never with the intention of pointing fingers or judging, and like trying to keep an open space of curiosity, also about the imperfections. I mean, it's not fun to watch a film about everything is perfect and joyful, like it's like we want to go into the dark places, the complicated places, into ambivalence, feeling both this and this, and to hopefully create a story where people can walk out of the movie and meet someone, a friend, and talk and think and create a dialogue rather than to just state an opinion. So I think that's what's interesting, but it's very satisfying when people come back to you and talk about something that you didn't quite understand you were doing. Like in this case, a lot of people come to me and talk about that, the pressure of defining yourself and an identity and an ambition. And I'm like, wow, that's stuff I've struggled with. And so that's what the film means. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's probably what we did. It's everyone thinks when the poster is out there, the film is up, then the people behind the film have complete control over the vision. Yes, there are many things we control, but we're searching. We're not certain, So I'm always happy when people respond on a personal level to what we do.
Mhm. Back to you, Renate. This is your first lead role, and I've watched some wonderful panels that you both have participated on, and I love seeing how Joachim has championed you as a lead actress. Now that the film is done and you've had this opportunity, how has it transformed you as a performer?
Well, I think because it's, you know, when you're an actress and you do a lead, it's a lot of attention, and you talk about it a lot. And I guess I really want to focus on the collective of it, and that it's really just yeah, it's the culture that Joachim made on set, and that really about everyone really wanting to be honest and make this movie because we thought it was important, and everyone was really feeling the themes, and were really there for it. So it's, I feel like things are changing, and it's been very overwhelming, everything that's happened, and all, I don't know, the interviews and everything, but it's, I just really want to stay in that state of mind where it's about something we make together, and it's and that's the fun about it too, you know, that it's not me on set being a lead, it's about what the events and the situation we try to create together and be free within those frames.
In the creation, back to you, Joachim, in the creation of the film, there are some marvelous cinematic touches in there. It's just, it's really, really beautiful, particularly the street scene. What was it like that day to freeze time? Because it was just beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's a dream I think me and I'm sure several other people have had, that, you know, we wish we could just stop time, the pressure of expectation and the life we live, and just run away for a day. It's almost like a fairy tale idea that we play around with in the film. And Julie is smitten by this other guy, that the one she's with, and she wants to explore that. So that was fun to do. It's particularly fun because it was in the summer of 2020, and we had all been indoors during COVID, and finally the first moment when we could come out and shoot films and be together again, to have the cops stop traffic for us to be able to shoot this, and then have all these extras that are trained to stand still and warming up, playing music. And, you know, I'm a DJ too, so I was playing a lot of kind of 80s soul stuff that was funky, and people were dancing a bit, and then, okay, everyone stand still. And we would kind of, it was like a street party that the cops allowed us to do. And we were all missing this being together because we, you know, like all of us, been indoors so much that year. So anyway, we loved doing it, and I hope the audience will like the scene too.
I like a good vibe. You know, maybe we can get like a behind the scenes of the extras and everything dancing and stuff on set. That'd be like really cool, like in a little package to see.
That'd be good. Yeah, yeah.
That'd be super cool. Back to you, Renate. Obviously, you and Julia are not the same person. You're portraying that character, but if you could look to anything within her, are there anything you have in common with her? Because we all struggle with that kind of, oh, I don't know if I should do this or that, or am I terrible for pursuing this or that? Do you have anything in common with her, do you think?
Yeah, I really when I read it, I was really overwhelmed by how close to me she felt. And of course it is acting, and there are some things that we disagree on, but I really couldn't tell the difference between me and her after shooting for a while, which was problematic for my own life, because I kind of you know, had all these questions about my own choices, and you know, the choices to make. So it was, I feel that it was also reading her, she was so complex. It's really hard to, I related to her, but it was hard to know exactly who she was. And I don't think anyone can really know exactly who they are. It's so much of us that are subconscious. So it was really nice just being on set, having kind of a conversation about the themes with like the other characters and with Julie. It's hard to explain because she is really close to me in some ways, but yeah, it's a confusing answer. I'm confused about this.
I get you. On the flip of that, Joachim, as a person who created her from the inside out,
Yeah.
how would you describe who she is?
I think what I enjoy a lot about Julie, and I think that Renate does very well in her performance, is that she is creating a character with a big range, a lot of dreams and fun and levity, and also a slowly discovery of the character towards that reality that she has to face, like all of us, about there are limitations to our choices, and we will experience loss to maybe go from a sense of always becoming into being. You know, like it's a journey of finding self-acceptance more than anything, this film. So I love that chaos of the character, but I also would say she's someone who has a great curiosity and passion, and maybe too many passions at some point. So, you know, I identify with that.
Yeah, and also I feel like one of the strongest things that she has is that she is actually just surrendering to the chaos, and she is in that chaos. She is it's really a strong place to be, to like ask those questions and not be certain about stuff, because that's where you can really start to make the right choices from that point, that baseline. So that's I really love that about her.
I love that too. Sometimes instead of fearing the storm, you have to be the storm, and then you can weather
Yeah.
it.
Well put.
Well, I thank you guys for your time in this marvelous film. It is beautiful, and best of luck to you during award season. It is a wonderful film. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much.
You take care.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.